Hey, quick note. I'm quite a bit taller than Kev, but I'm sitting on a lower stool. So just know.
He's a little man.
You ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, hey guys, it's Kevin and Greg. We're back. We're fortunate enough that we took a temporary loaner 2022 Honda Grom, the version 3 of this unit. In full disclosure, this is a pre-production unit. We promised Honda, hey, yeah, we won't do a review on that because they said don't do a review on that. But I mean, there's some stuff here we got covered, right?
Yep.
So we're going to give you a little overlook here. It's completely unofficial.
Way unofficial.
Yeah, it's unofficial, but there's some good stuff. I'll start off by letting Kev go through some of the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah, if we were to ride it in a proven ground environment, because it's not a street legal bike, there was a few things that I think we noticed right out of the gate. One, it has a really comfortable flat seat compared to the previous generation. It still has the same roughly 30-inch seat height, but it's way more comfortable. That was the first thing that caught my eye, was kind of how the bike looked ergonomically better seat, more comfortable, better look, better fit for someone my height. I think the bike has changed for the better dramatically. At 6'1", you're 6'2". The bike fits a lot more like a normal bike.
Yeah, my knees fit in the shrouds to perfection at 6'2". So it's way more comfortable. Kevin's right. The seat is the best seat yet. And we'll toss that out for all prior Groms and a Z as well. It is spectacular. The biggest news on this unit is they have went to a 5-speed, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we kind of gauge some speeds. Again, this is all unofficial. We don't know. I suspect they won't change anything. Maybe they will, but the gears weren't too tight. They were spaced out so well, and it bumps the rev limit in 4th gear at 63 miles an hour. Yeah. What does it do in 5th gear? Sorry to say, we don't know. It would take a long downhill. It doesn't have enough power to pull 5th to redline, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in my eyes, because if you leave it stock forever, it gets way better fuel mileage and longevity, because when you're going down the highway at 65, it's not turning 9,500 RPM.
It's a good cruising gear.
Yeah.
And then that leaves the aftermarket to take advantage of that 5th gear.
It does.
It does.
If you left it stock-ish, you could gear it down. The gears still wouldn't be too tight, and you would have a lot of additional pop for the cost of a countershaft sprocket at $14 or something. So that would be an easy gain. Yeah. If you went to a big bore, high performance type situation, all of a sudden you're going to be able to pull that 5th, and who knows what it runs in a fairly conservative configuration.
Yeah, it's noticeably peppier, quicker revving through the gears to get a little more speed. It's real easy. That bike pulls through 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And I think, with this engine having a little bit more stroke, you get a little more bottom end pull and a little more compression. This bike it's noticeable more power than a previous gen stock unit. It is noticeable.
It is. So on that note, that was one of the things Kevin referenced, the stroke. So they've actually, it's still a 125. The displacement is the same, but they have reduced the bore and added stroke to it. So it's got more of a torquey feel to it than it did to me.
No, it did for sure.
And on the spec sheet, off the top of my head, the compression went up a pound or a little more than a pound. I think you can tell it. I mean, it's noticeably quicker than anything prior.
Yeah, I think when you do the things, you add a little bit of stroke, you add a little bit of compression. It goes up to 10-to-1 now compression, and that makes a difference. And then you take off all the oil spinner weight and put a real oil filter in it.
That's a good one.
All those little changes make a big difference in the overall package.
Prior, everybody went to the aftermarket oil filter and eliminated the oil spinner, and I think that was like $275 or that modification, and it made a substantial difference, right?
It did.
And now, it's here, right out of the dealership, so that's great. The suspension, we found a few changes they made in it, but by and large, the function of it is about the same. So very few, bad points here, but you're getting the same soft fork you always did. There's remedies for that, so that's not too much of an issue. We did see there's quite a bit of geometry change in this frame. So while the suspension is in its components very, very similar, I thought the bike handled and rode better.
No, it did. It's one of those things where it looks the same, but it doesn't handle the same. It's got very similar components, but seat of the pants, it feels like a different bike. It feels, to me, smoother, not easier on the turn in. It's not twitchy. You feel like you're riding a bigger bike. It's still a small bike. It's still on 12-inch wheels. It just feels better. Whatever they did works.
I noticed if you're a stunner like Kevin, that's a lie. Right? But if you're a stunner, not like Kevin, the subframe is bolt on and off now. So when you go loop that thing out in the parking lot,
which I've done, by the way, I've broken a subframe.
Not on this bike.
Right off.
No, it was another brand that was orange made in Austria that we won't name. Anyway, so when things go bad, you can actually swap that subframe out, which, nobody buys this thing thinking, oh, it's going to be great because I can tear it to pieces and replace it. But some of you are going to tear it to pieces.
It's little details.
Yeah.
They've just improved. The subframe itself is actually smaller than the previous bike.
Yeah.
But that also, I think, the frame change, the subframe change, the seat angle, every
great.
little improvement, it seems, as a complete package, it's way better.
Now, I will say, and this is to your own opinion, each and every one of you, but to aesthetics, when I saw the release photos of the bike, I thought, I'm just not really liking that. And I've seen a lot of similar comments online. But I was patient enough, which is weird for me, to reserve my opinion until we saw it. Because when the version 2 Grom came out and I saw pictures, I thought, I really don't like that. And then I saw it in real life. I do kind of like it. So, to me anyway, I don't know how you feel. To me, this is very much in that same mold because I wasn't too elated with the look of the thing until we took possession of it. And it actually, in real life, it looks, to me, quite a bit better.
It does.
Than it did. And I'm going to be honest, this bike is so good, if you hate the way it looks, you're going to buy one anyway.
It's still a better bike.
Yeah.
It's a better bike.
Yes.
It just is in every way.
Top to bottom. Before you jump on our website or anybody else's website and order parts for this thing, there's a lot of little tiny differences. Some of the more universal parts are going to fit. A lot of them won't. But by the time that this is in the dealership, we're going to have a full lineup. So you can check it out. I'm sure everybody else will too. But of course, everybody knows our stuff's the best stuff.
It is.
Yeah. I will say, a really popular modification is the big bore kit, and to my knowledge, that does not exist right now for this platform. That said, clearly it will in short order because it will. But with that change in the bore and stroke, it's kind of thrown all those guys a wild card. So I suspect, I'd say by late summer we'll have probably quite a few offerings of big bore options and that sort of thing.
Well, and from what we've seen on the preliminary side, not naming names, but we're seeing some good dyno numbers from just an exhaust swap.
Yoshimura.
10.5 horse at the wheel.
So, anyway, on social media, when we put out some feelers that we had this thing on social media, we got a lot of questions. So let's dig through a few of these questions, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. Again, unofficially. Right, because this is not an official production motorcycle.
We're always officially unofficial.
That's true. So, if something's wrong here, certainly don't blame Honda. You can blame us. We do a lot of things wrong.
Or you blame somebody else.
That's true.
We're good with that.
Yeah, blame anybody, but us or Honda, preferably. So, let me get in here. Baker_897 writes, does it starve for oil at 12 o'clock? Hey, look, I like some wheelies, but I've not drug this thing up down the road at 12 o'clock position. So, Baker, maybe you need to research that and get back with us. We'll share it with the rest of these people. We says, thinking about selling the Z125 for this.
Do it.
Yeah, if it's in your budget, it's probably a pretty good move, we. Relit007 says, how many miles do you get out of a full tank now? Does that 1/10 of a gallon make a big difference in range? Hey, we've not ridden a full tank of gas through it and measured that, but
Well, if you figured 120 miles a gallon, a tenth of a gallon, it's 12 miles.
well, no. So I'm going more than that because with that fifth gear, you're turning so many fewer RPM.
That's true.
I bet it goes 500,000 miles on a tank.
It might. Could be infinite.
Wild Grom Rider says, "Do you have any parts already in mind for this unit?" Yeah, we got you
Yeah.
covered. Got you.
At least one.
Yep. El Matador _KS says, "I'm interested in the fifth gear." Hey, look, the fifth gear's winning all over itself. What's the
it's included.
downside? What's the downside to the fifth gear?
None.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Yep, you want fifth gear. Ring-a-ding 57 writes, "Bottom line, is it a real improvement over the SF Grom?" Yes. Yes. Hey, we're not dealership. Do we sell Honda Skiff?
Nope.
Nope. I mean, we don't care what you buy, but so I'm not, we're not bagging for Honda. It's just, yeah, it's way better.
Right now in the market, it's the pinnacle. It
I
is the
agree.
pinnacle of minibike.
That was a good word.
That's what I do.
You're good. X_Chris Beasley _X writes, "Do exhausts that fit on prior models fit on the new engine?"
Nope.
No. Cats Like Ryan writes, "Head-to-head races with an OG SF and the new Grom." Yeah, we hadn't done that. This bike's winning that race.
Yeah, it's at least 2 horsepower stronger. It's winning that race.
We don't need to waste our time to run that test. Yeah, this one's gone. Jew _Cruise 93 states, "What RPM does this run at 55 to 60 mile per hour with the addition of fifth gear?" Hey, well,
I don't know.
we don't have that data, but it's not. I mean, rough guess, it's not running 95.
No, it's low. It's real low.
6,700 RPM.
It's intended to cruise in fifth.
Yeah. Especially if you're on flat ground. If you live in Florida,
Yeah, you're in fifth, just
Yeah.
probably
Sipping.
6,000 RPM.
yeah, you're sipping the gas and looking at pretty girls or whatever it is you're doing. John 5XR, and if you don't know who that is, go look him up on Instagram. That's a cool cat right there. He's an enthusiast. So shout out to John. He says, "Biggest question with any new Honda small bore has to be the top speed." Yeah, it is. Like we said prior, it'll run 63 in fourth at the red line. We don't know what it runs in fifth because it won't quite pull it out in a flat ground situation. But again, it's faster than everything else before it, hands down.
And the acceleration is faster. It's
Yeah.
not just top speed. It's the bike. It just feels quicker.
Yep. Dabala.bikes writes, "What happened to the Grom?" Well, when your friends bite, you're going to find out. It just got a whole lot better.
It improved.
Yeah. Pudva asks, "Ever take it off any sweet jumps?" Well, not yet.
Not yet.
But sadly, this bike is going to see the crusher after we're done with it. So, hey, we might as well send it off some sweet jumps.
Yeah.
Right? We're too valuable. At least I am. I might need to get it like a stunt double.
Come to Barber in June.
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah, you find us at Barber Small Bore, June 4 through 6. We might just tuck this thing off a sweet jump.
See something cool.
Heck, we might let you do it. Living the Dream 865 says, "What kind of ugly is that?" It's the kind that's about to leave you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy on the ugly bike's done checked out on you, so you won't have to look at it for long because he's going to be way ahead.
Taillights.
Yeah, as long as you like the taillights, you'll be good. Some guy named Yoshimura _RD asks, "Is there an Olin's kit for it? Asking for a friend." Yeah, there's not at this minute, but there will be soon enough.
It's coming.
Yeah, you're going to see some good options. I know the people we deal with, Damon, Olin's
Things in the work.
and Nitron are probably going to dial up some sweet stuff. I'm sure you can jump on Amazon and get a $59 unit. That's nothing we're interested in, but we'll have some good stuff for you if that's where you're going. Rodney Sargent. If you don't know Rodney Sargent, hey, go follow that cat. He runs a stunt school, and he's generally all-around fantastic dude. He asks, sarcastically, I suspect, does it wheelie? I mean, we'll have to get with Rodney on that. Yeah, he'd be a good test rider for that. Justin Mark Walter, also known as Floppy Zebra International Playboy, asks, so the cat can ride, but he can't spell. He asks, how's the front sussy compared to the previous models? It's the same.
Similar.
It's the same. As far as brake dive, and is this thing going to collapse to the bump stops? If the prior one did with you on it, this one's going to. So that's one part we can't say, oh, that's
still going to need a fork kit, still going to need braided brake lines.
Yep.
It's very similar.
Yep. Smoky Mountain Meathead says, with the stroke change, is there a power change? And what does it mean for big bore kids? Well, yeah, this bike's up like 1.5 horsepower, give or take.
Yeah, stock to stock, it's up at least 1.5 horses.
Yeah, and again, back to value. What's that cost you to buy? You know, you bought the 2019 model or whatever there, and you wanted to add you're spending some money to get a horse and a half, and here it is.
No, it's good.
Yeah, they're just giving it to you.
That also means you're going to wait a minute on big bores. It's going to be a while.
That's true, but then they're going big at that point in time.
Yeah.
Again, we'd love to go into every finite detail, but this is a completely bootleg video. Mm-hmm. If you can no longer get on manthebox.com to order sweet parts, it's because Big Red has sued us.
Shut us down.
Yeah, we're out of business. But even if we are, we're still going to be at Barber Motorsports Park June 4th through 6th at Barber Small Bore. That's going to happen. What else we have for them, Kev?
That's pretty much it.
When are these in dealerships? Do we even know that? I've heard different things.
What we're hearing is mid to end of May, maybe early June, that they will be available. But if you have any interest at all in picking this bike up, you better get to your dealer today, because they're going to be low volume out of the gate. We already know that. It happens every new release. If you want one, seriously, get to your dealer and ask to put a deposit, because these are going to get snatched up as soon as they hit the floor. We're not hyping it up. I mean, there's Groms and Zs everywhere. This bike is substantially better in every way. Is it a big bike? No, but it's the best small bike on the market. That's
sure.
just fact.
This is a more accurate height representation.
Nah.
I'm probably not even framed. It probably cut me off right here.
Probably did. You just shut yourself straight out of frame.
Hey, that's all we got. Thanks for watching this. Keep an eye on our site or our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all that mess. And as we release new product, we're as excited as anybody about new stuff. So as we release things, it'll be on those platforms. It'll be up on our site and available. We're taking our time and going through this. We've really knocked it apart, and we've still got a ways to go. But again, there's all kinds of little finite changes before, versus the prior parts. So we're going to do stuff right and put out some good product, hopefully, that you guys really enjoy. So if you have any questions, contact us, hit us up through our site, or give us a call, or whatever you need to do there, and we'll try our best to help you out. Again, super unofficial stuff. You don't hold us liable, and certainly not Honda for anything we've said here, because we're just rambling around. But
Yep.
that's all we got. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it helps a little bit. And I hope you get to buy one of these, because you're going to like it a lot.
See you next time.
See you.